Alright, so now, about a month ago, I made a video showing you how to remove Windows from a dual boot with Ubuntu. Now, in that video, when I went to go remove the Windows entry from the GRUB menu, I used a program called GRUB Customizer. And while it does get the job done, I've actually found an arguably even easier and much more clean approach to doing this. And I'm going to show you what that approach is in this video. But without further ado, let's get right into it.
Alright, so now this process will be different depending on whether your computer has a UEFI BIOS or a legacy BIOS. But what you're going to want to do is once you're on your Ubuntu desktop, you're going to go to Show Applications, Terminal. And if you have a legacy BIOS, this is actually going to be very easy since all you have to do is just run sudo update-grub, then hit enter, punch in your password, and then it'll essentially regenerate your GRUB boot menu. And if you're on legacy, that will remove the Windows entry for you. So now if despite having removed Windows, it says it found Windows Boot Manager on EFI/Microsoft, and it's also adding a boot menu entry for your UEFI firmware settings, then it means you have a UEFI BIOS. If you do, it's going to be a little bit more complicated, but I'll guide you through it. So you're going to go open Files, then go to Other Locations, Computer, and then you're going to go to Boot, EFI, and then once you double click on the EFI folder, it should prompt you for your password, and then it'll actually prompt you for it again. Alright, now you should see a single folder called EFI in all caps. You're going to double click on that, and then you're just going to delete the Microsoft folder. Don't delete anything else in here, otherwise next time you go to boot your computer back up, you'll encounter a computer that won't boot. But anyway, you're just going to delete the Microsoft folder by right-clicking on it, then clicking Move to Trash, and then it will bring up this notice saying that the Microsoft folder can't be put into the trash. You're going to click Delete, and then that'll go permanently delete the Microsoft folder, because we don't need it anymore. And now once we've done that, we can just close out of Files, and run sudo update grub again, and now as you can see, it still says adding boot menu entry for UEFI firmware settings just to allow us to more easily access our BIOS settings, but now it's not finding Windows Boot Manager anymore. If this is what you're seeing, that means your Windows GRUB boot menu entry has been removed. So now if you're on a UEFI BIOS, there's another optional step you can do to remove the Windows boot menu entry from your UEFI BIOS boot menu. So what you're going to do is run EFI boot mgr, then hit enter. And what this does is lists all the boot menu options on your BIOS. So now the one we're concerned about is Windows Boot Manager. So now you're going to take note of the boot number for Windows Boot Manager. Don't worry about the boot part, we just need the 4-digit number, which in our case is 0004. And now once you've got that noted down, you're going to run sudo EFI boot mgr-b, our boot number, in our case 0004-B. And then this will delete our Windows Boot Manager entry. Now you want to make sure that you are deleting the right entry from your BIOS boot menu, because if you delete the wrong one, it could cause problems with your computer booting. Just rule of thumb, if you don't know what something is, just leave it alone. Now in our case, we know for a fact that we no longer need our Windows Boot Manager entry, so we can delete that by running this command, then punching in our password. And now after that, it'll give us a list of our boot options in our UEFI BIOS, and you'll notice that we no longer have a Windows Boot Manager option. That means that it's removed. You can actually confirm this by rebooting your computer, and then getting into our boot menu, and as you can see here, there's no longer a Windows Boot Manager option. And we're done. As you can see, not all that hard.
And that's the proper way to remove the Windows entry from your GRUB menu after removing Windows. So thanks for watching. If you liked this video, found it was helpful, hit the like button, share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment.